up.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. How did you know that these packages came from Ryan?
Because it was
Well, I'm
handwriting.
going to object, Your Honor, as to relevancy. I mean, these folks apparently have known each other for several years, and there's no context for this stuff that she's talking about now. This is not in the affidavit of probable cause.
And the packages that were delivered to your parents, where do your parents live?
Income.
Is that in Bingham County?
Yeah, just south of Pocatello.
Okay. And the Davenports, where do they live? Is that here?
Wapello, that's in Bingham County too.
Bingham County, okay.
And actually, I think I just misspoke. My parents live in Income, which is in Bannock County.
Okay. You indicated you got a firearm and pepper spray.
Yeah.
Why?
To defend myself. I mean, if he feels like he can walk right up to my car twice with me sitting in it, he's not afraid of me or anybody else.
Are you in fear of him?
Absolutely.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Cross-examine, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss, would it be fair to say that all the incidents that you talk about as far as Jensen's Grove, the Verizon store parking lot, those are public places, correct?
Yeah.
Now, you indicate that you thought you should get a new phone because something must be going on with your phone. Did you get a new phone?
Yeah.
When you got the new phone, did you have your old phone checked either by phone personnel or by the sheriff's department or police department, checked to see if there actually was a tracking device or some kind of tracking enabled on that phone?
Yeah, I gave him my phone. Yeah.
Did they check to see if there was a tracking app enabled on it?
They checked, and there was not, but they did
Okay,
give
thanks.
a suspicion
So
of what it might have been.
you said that you got a new car because you felt like there was a tracking device on your car. Now, when you switched cars, did you have your old car checked by law enforcement or by a car dealership to see if there was a tracking device on it?
On the old one, no, but I just was trying to figure out what was going on how he kept showing up where I was when he didn't know I was there.
After the civil protection order was issued, and I think it was April of this year, do you have any documentation, any pictures that you've taken or any videos that you've taken or any observations you've made that Mr. following you as you travel around Bingham County?
I have pictures from the Verizon store, yes.
Okay. In the public parking lot?
Correct.
Okay. What about en route or on the streets or traveling around? Have you ever observed Ryan? Do you have any documentation that he has been following you in a vehicle?
I have a Ring doorbell camera video of him dropping off a gift at an elderly neighbor. She's one of my best friends. She's 86. I was helping be her caretaker when her two caretakers were out of town, and the Ring doorbell shows him walking up to the door, leaving a bag of pears and a note addressed to my elderly neighbor and her son, which he's never met and I don't know how he would know he even lives there.
Is she included on the civil protection order?
No.
Since the civil protection order was issued, do you have any video footage, any photographs, or any other kind of documentation that Mr. is following you while you drive around?
No, it's just,
Thank you.
It's inklings.
With regards to the obtaining of the civil protection order, you went through that process with Susan's help, is that what I understand?
I went in and got the paperwork from her.
Okay.
She did not help me fill it out.
The supporting or the application supporting the obtaining of the civil protection order was only offered by you?
Correct.
And was it the truth?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. So your testimony would be that everything you said in there is the truth and is exactly what was the nature of your relationship with Ryan and with what was happening that made you feel like you needed to get a civil protection order?
Part of the questions were answered based on personal opinion, but most of it was fact.
During the time, either before or after obtaining the civil protection order, have you ever made a report to authorities that Ryan has aggressed towards you?
Physically aggressed? No. Verbally? Yes.
Now, as far as verbally aggressed, is that part of the communications that you've been talking about in court today?
In the text messages? Yes.
Okay.
But most of it was fact.
You testified that, it was early in your testimony today, that you texted him, I think, and told him, say what you mean and mean what you say. Did you send a text that contained that phrase to him?
Yes.
And what was the rest of the text or that series of texts that you sent him? What was all that about?
That's a pretty vague question. That was telling him I was done with the relationship because I had been piecing together the past few years and in the current instances and realized, in my opinion, what was happening, and I was trying to find a way out. And so I said, I am done.
Okay, and so how many texts did you send in that series? Was it all one?
I was on a separate day. I don't remember.
I'm sorry?
That was on a separate day than the 83 original messages. I don't recall how many. That was one single one that I said, I am done.
I understood that the 83, okay, I guess I'm confused. I don't know what day you sent him 83 texts, or did he send?
I didn't send them, he did.
Okay, so I don't know why you're bringing that up, but my question is, you were having a relationship with him, correct? Up until April of this year.
Depends on your definition of a relationship.
Now, let's talk about that a little bit. You testified that you never were in love with Ryan, is that right?
Right.
Were you involved in a physical, sexual relationship with Ryan up until April of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't love him, and you never did.
Not in an in-love way, no. I'm a loving person, but...
But you don't love him, and you never did.
Not in an in-love way, no. I'm a loving person, but no, I'm not in love with him, and I made that very clear a number of times.
Okay. And you continued with the physical sexual relationship with him?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. And when you said, I am done, I guess first of all, have you ever texted him that you were done before this time in April?
No.
Okay. Have you ever texted or communicated to him over the years that you wanted the relationship to stop or the relationship should stop?
No, because it wasn't until later when I figured out what was going on is when I wanted out.
Okay. And when you informed him that you were done, was that about the same time? You say it was a different day than the day you got the 83 messages. Was the day you got the 83 messages the day you got the CPO?
Repeat that?
Yeah. Was the day you received the 83 text messages from, midnight until 3 in the morning or whatever, was that the same day that you obtained the CPO?
It was in the next couple of days,
Okay.
yes.
Can you give me an idea of the chronology of when you told him you were done, when you told him say what you mean what you say, and then getting the CPO? Just kind of give me that.
I'm going to have to think back on that.
So they know what day it was. Did they take screenshots of it or anything? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you take screenshots of those messages?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have them?
Yeah,
Okay. So you can get the date on those, right?
yeah.
Okay. But you don't know when those 83 that day, that kind of landmark day with the 83 messages.
It was the end of February for the 83 messages, maybe around the 25th. I'm not on or about, I'm not sure.
So it was a couple months before you got the CPO.
The 83 messages?
Yeah.
No, it came, so I got them at the end of February, and then it was granted shortly after that, and then there was a period of time where they extended it for a year.
Okay. And you don't remember when you sent him the message saying you were done?
No,
And is that still
not
on your
off the top of
phone?
my head.
Is it still on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you show that to law enforcement?
That one I don't recall.
But you definitely recall sending them that.
Yeah.
And it was at a different time than you sent him the message saying, mean what you say or say what you mean. Those were different times.
Yeah.
So there was this pattern of communication between you and him leading up until the time you received the civil protection order, correct?
What do you mean by pattern of communication?
Well, you guys were going back and forth with text messages during that time.
Well, yeah, there was a period of a few days where I didn't respond.
Okay. After the 83 messages, but before you got the CPO?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So you haven't seen him following you. On that bouquet, do you remember what the card, or when it said Blackfoot Flowers or something like that, was there a message on that card?
It just said, "Happy birthday, Samantha."
Was it signed by anybody?
It was from Blackfoot Flower Deliveries typed at the bottom.
Okay. So there's no handwriting recognition on that?
No.
Did Ryan ever acknowledge the termination of the relationship to you?
Did he ever say, "We're dating and you're my girlfriend"? No.
Did he ever acknowledge to you after you sent him the messages, at least this year, I am done, I'm in that thing, did he ever acknowledge back to you that say, I realize our relationship is over?
In roundabout way, during the 83 text messages, it was, you're going to have to pay for this, and you have a lot of making up to do, and there was indications in that of before it ended, I had things to take care of.
Okay. So he was clearly communicating to you that he was hurt.
I guess it depends on your definition of hurt.
I don't know, I'm asking you.
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to speculation as to Mr. Rick's state of mind at that time.
Sustain.
Did you have any physical contact with him after the date of the 83 messages? Any sexual contact?
No.
Did you have any personal contact with him? Go out to dinner, anything like that?
After the messages?
After that 83
No.
message time?
No.
Okay. How about after the time when you sent him the message saying, I am done? Did you have any personal contact? Did you guys meet up to discuss things or anything like that? No, and no physical activity?
No.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have on cross, Your Honor.
Redirect, Mr. Peterson.
No redirect, Your Honor.
You may step down, Ms.